Sounds like a plan. Hey, good Sunday evening. Thanks for joining us online. I'm 13 News meteorologist Matt Standridge. Think of this as kind of a weather fireside chat as we discuss what the next week is going to bring in store for us. We've got multiple fronts, we've got multiple days of clouds and rain showers, and the chance for possibly our first snowflakes of the season. To start off with, this is not going to be a snowstorm for us, but we do expect some snow showers mixed with rain showers to come into central Indiana. We've been watching the weather maps closely. There's been this front that started in Alaska and now it's been pushing south along the Gulf of Alaska, the eastern coast of, or the western coast there with the Pacific Ocean, just on the east side. And there's our next storm system. It's gonna come in, give us cool air midweek, and then another system will come in and take advantage of some of that cooler air. In the meantime, we've got a few extra clouds coming in this evening. It was a nice day today. I think we're going to stick in the 60s tomorrow, more 60s for Tuesday. So enjoy the 60s for the next 2 days, because after that, they're gone. They're gone at least for the next 10 days across central Indiana. Chance for a spotty shower. A lot of this rain is trying to go around the high pressure, so we'll get a few showers, I think generally west of Indianapolis and north of Indianapolis, but that's the next couple days. This is the big system that everyone's kind of talking about. We're already getting questions. How much is it going to snow? Is it going to stick? Let's go through some of these things. Let's first take a look at this storm system because it is pretty powerful when you're looking off to the north and west right now. You can see it there towards Seattle and Portland right now. All these winter weather advisories and alerts. They've even got frost advisories through the central valleys of California. But you see all this cool air rushing in. See these clouds just coming down the Pacific Ocean, down the Gulf of Alaska, just pounding the west coast right now. This is our next weather maker. A lot of folks in the central U.S. are going to get hit by some cooler air and the chance for maybe some snow showers. Here's the other thing though too. Notice how on the backside, these clouds are getting real low. I think we're going to have the same thing. We get hit with a front and then a secondary little cold core low moves in and gives us more chances for some scattered rain showers and snow showers. So we're going to get rid of the high pressure, bring in this blast of cold air. We'll have nights in the low 30s, right next to freezing. The days will be in the upper 30s and low 40s, and that's why we have to include the chance for rain showers and snow showers. We'll probably have some periods of both. Every day has a chance for something this week. So hold on. This is one of those weeks where the weather is just coming right at us for central Indiana. The big front that starts this whole thing comes in Monday night and Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning is going to be a wet start for us. Maybe a quarter inch of rain, nothing crazy, but a wet start. Then we'll have multiple days of some scattered showers, but Thursday looks to be the coldest day. I think that's the day the winds pick up the most, right down Lake Michigan. Produces more precipitation, so we bump that chance up just a little bit, but we've got some rain and snow chances for Thursday. After that, I think we warm things up enough. So let's walk through Future Track 13. Let's show you what we're thinking so far. Once again, this is a very early look. We're going to have more updates throughout the week. Tomorrow morning, Chuck and Lindsay will show you what they're thinking, and then Angela and Sean will show you later into the week there in the afternoons and evenings more updates as well, because things are going to change a little bit. But here's what we're thinking so far. The first thing is you got to get a big front to even knock these 60s out, because with the 60s, you're not getting snow. We've got to at least cut our temperatures in half. And we'll start to do that Tuesday morning, a couple of showers pushing on through. The cold air doesn't really get in more till Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, we're stuck in the 50s, so it's going to be a little bit cooler for us. Then by Thursday morning, we get the big front out of the way. On the backside, some of those low clouds that we were talking about in the Gulf of Alaska, I think we'll have those rejuvenate a little bit as a new cold core low moves in. A cold core low is just what it sounds like. It's a low pressure that's super cold in the middle, and it can help push clouds down and spit out precipitation. And then what it spits out depends on what your temperatures are doing. So this is Thursday morning. We're going to start to get that north wind. We'll get a mix of some snow showers and rain showers coming in Indianapolis and the rest of northern Indiana and central Indiana. But you're probably thinking, Matt, there's a 40 on there. I learned freezing's 32. Upstairs, it's definitely cold enough. The 40s are real shallow right by the ground. So most of the time, these snowflakes are falling, and I'll show you a demonstration here just in a moment. But the question is, in the little shallow layer, about the height of Salesforce Tower, we'll have some 40s. Will that melt the snowflake, or can the snowflake survive? Or maybe it's kind of a mix in between where it's a half melted snowflake or kind of like a grapple piece, like a Dippin' Dot. We'll have to see, but the temperatures are going to be very key this week, and they'll fluctuate a little bit, but we'll give you the latest of what we're thinking. Throughout the day on Thursday, as we hover in the upper 30s and low 40s, we'll kind of have a mix, but the blue color shows you the chance for some light snow showers. This isn't a big storm system. This really is just clouds hanging low and spitting out stuff at us. So things are going to be on the lighter side. You could get a quick burst every once in a while, but generally we think this is going to be on the lighter side. And this may be overdoing it a little bit on the snow at times. I think we'll squeeze in some rain showers too. But they extend all the way south to New Albany and Jeffersonville, east all the way to Richmond and Winchester. This includes most of Indiana. I think most of Indiana has a chance at least of seeing some snowflakes. You know, this is the time of year we typically do get some of our first flurries. And sometimes you can even get a trace of accumulation in November. But you guys remember, we've had snow in Octobers. We've had Halloweens with snow. So this is not just completely out of the ordinary. Generally, though, our first 1 inch of snow on average comes in December. So we'll have to see what this one brings. I think accumulations are going to be on the tougher side, and I'll show you why. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I think those north winds will start to subside for us a little bit as this cold core moves east. Then you can kind of see most of the action getting towards the central and eastern Great Lakes, while the western Great Lakes try to dry out just a little bit. But here's also the crazy thing. The typical lake effect snow bands that produce, 60 plus inches of snow per year towards South Bend and Elkhart will kind of be reversed with this storm system. And this typically does happen this time of year. The lake water temperatures are still super warm. They're actually near record highs because it's just been so warm for the end of summer, and most of fall was kind of on the warm side. We had some really nice weather this fall overall. But we've got 50s and a few more 40s once you get up north toward Charlevoix, but 50s there by the Indiana Dunes and much of the southern half of Lake Michigan. As those cold north winds go over the warm water, some of the warmer air may move inland. So we're talking about Valpo and Maryville and South Bend. They may get a few more rain showers while we're not as impacted by the actual water temperature of Lake Michigan. We've got a higher chance of some snow flurries. So this is going to be kind of wonky. This typically happens at the first start of the winter season while the lake water temperatures are still really, really warm. But eventually, northern Indiana will win on snow chances throughout the whole winter. But here's what we're thinking. So this kind of looks aggressive, but here's what this means. We've got green, kind of a teal green, and then we've got the blue. The blue color shows you areas where we've got a chance for a mix of both snow and rain showers, but we may trend a little bit more with the snow showers at times. And it's not constant. We're going to have breaks. In fact, a lot of times it's just going to be cloudy and cold. Those north winds are going to be picking up between 40 to about 25 miles per hour, so probably more towards the 40 mile per hour range to the north, maybe 25 to 30 mile per hour winds here in central Indiana. So it is going to be brisk on Thursday and on Friday. So you're going to feel the wind chill. The wind chills will be in the 20s at times. It's going to be tough out there across central Indiana. But because we live farther away from the lake, there's a higher chance that our temperatures will be slightly colder than places like South Bend and Warsaw and Crown Point and Maryville and Valpo and Chesterton. So we've got a chance more snow. Now, this doesn't mean pure snow. This means if you're getting this amount of snow chances, you'll get maybe this amount of rain chances. We flip-flop those in the green zones. I think we'll get more rain showers, but we do still have some snow chances. I think at times we'll be able to drop our temperatures closer to the lake. So we'll get some snow chances to the north, but generally, central Indiana's got the highest chance, or one of the higher chances, and into central Ohio, right there down I-70, for the best chances for some snow showers at times. And then we pick up the green again farther to the south. That's just because we'll start to get warmer again once you get farther south. So we'll have to see around Evansville and there towards Vincennes, and even just outside of New Albany and Clarksville and Madison, we may have a couple more rain showers. So we'll be watching this closely, but there's a chance for some snow showers. All right, so one of the big questions that we typically get will be, is it going to stick? What are the temperatures doing? How is this even possible with some 40s and upper 30s? Well, the atmosphere doesn't just care what the temperature is doing where we're walking around and driving around, but it has to do with all the column of the air above us all the way to the clouds. So as these low clouds come in, they're going to be snowing. A lot of snowflakes will be flying around because it's going to be at freezing or below freezing above our heads. But here's the thing. closer to the ground, we've got this shallow layer of warmer air where we jump up to 34, 35, 36, and all the way to about 39 or 40. So we'll start with snowflakes. They'll fly down, but as they get closer to about the height of the Salesforce Tower, so 1,000 feet, about 700 feet or so above the ground, that's where we have temperatures likely to be a bit above freezing. So the question is, can the snowflakes survive just that final end of the journey? So when we're standing there, you put your hand out, will be a snowflake or a raindrop. We think we're going to get a mix of both because I think this warm air layer will adjust a little bit. I think at night it'll get a little bit smaller, so that's less warm air the cold snowflakes have to go through. So I think generally early Thursday morning when it's still dark, and then late Thursday evening into Thursday night, I think those are your best chances for some snowflakes. We'll have to see. Because I think during the middle of the day, we may expand this warm air just a tad and maybe just enough to produce a couple more just rain showers for us. But we're going to kind of have a mix of both. And I tell you what, even county by county, we're going to be getting something different. It's not like our temperatures are uniform across central Indiana. We always get something a little bit different. So the next big question is impacts. What can I expect on Thursday? Now, once again, this is Sunday night. This is just kind of give you an overall preview of what we're expecting this week. We're going to have more updates throughout the week as we get closer. So expect things to change. But we also just want to give you an early look so that you can start thinking about the week ahead. So the question is, will it stick? First thing, we've got a mix of rain showers and snow showers. So even if you got enough of a snow shower for a second where you start to get some of your blades of grass to turn just a hint of white, if you switch back over to rain showers, that'll get rid of that again. So the combination of fighting between those two things will be a little bit tough. The other thing we looked at is the Purdue Mesonet. They're awesome. They not only look at temperatures, there's big thermometers essentially, but they're looking at temperatures above the ground, but also at the ground and below the ground. We looked at some of those soil temperatures. They're in the 50s. You guys know it's still warm. The first snows of the year are tough to kind of forecast for because we can try to figure out how much snow flurry activity you're getting, but the question is what happens to the ground? Every ground is different. Your ground may be different than a farmer's ground out in the county versus what's happening downtown. It's kind of a mess all over the place, but most of our temperatures are in the mid 50s. And then we've got high 50s south of Indianapolis. So it would take a quick snowburst, a heavier snowburst to overcome that. And even if you can overcome that, you'll start to get a little bit of snow, but it'll be melting on the bottom because we're still in the 50s. And road temperatures are going to be roughly about the same. It gets tricky though, we'll kind of jump ahead, on bridges and overpasses. Where they go up above the ground, you're not impacted by the ground temperature anymore. You're at the mercy of whatever the air temperature is. So there could be a couple spots. If you get a bigger snow burst for just a second, you may see a small film of a little bit of snow try to develop. And then the question is for NDOT, how they treat. They're looking at things very closely. They're in contact with us and the National Weather Service on this forecast because they're going to figure out their plans as well. So that comes into play too. But the quick bursts are what we're going to have to watch for. You could get some minor accumulation, but you may have seen on social media different model runs that people post, and it's 2, 3, 4, 5. I've even seen over 6 inches on some of these things. What these models don't really account for very easily is the warmer temperatures on the ground. They try to account for snow, so you have to take those with a grain of salt. A lot of that will be melting as these snowflakes hit the ground. They don't all stick. So the question remains, will the snow stick? There could be a couple places where it does. It might be super minor, and it depends on where the heavier snow bands are, and we'll track those on Thursday for you. But I would watch for some slick spots on Thursday. We'll just have to see, because there are some snow shower chances, and this would be the first snow chance that we've had for this year, or for this season, I should say, because the snow season now started. So this snow season, our first chance. So it gets wonky. We get actually a lot of accidents just on days when there's some light rainy mist and temperatures are well above freezing. So just give yourself extra time on Thursday because we are in the zone for some snow showers. This is not a snowstorm, but some snow showers. This is typically our time of year that we do get some of those. So keep in mind on Thursday. In the meantime, enjoy the 60s. We got to the mid 60s today. It was a nice day. We had more sun close to Indy in areas east and south. North and west, a few more clouds. Tuesday's our warmest day. We'll get some rain in the morning. It gets real breezy. I still think we'll squeeze up in the upper 60s, maybe some 70s south of Indianapolis. That would be nice, but it's going to be breezy. And then we just knock things down. This first front gets things cold, and then the secondary storm system, that cold core low we were talking about, will try to take advantage of some of these temperatures. Now notice it's not going to be 40 all day. That's our high temperature, so that can kind of get misleading. In the morning, we may start in some mid-30s, especially north of Indianapolis. Not too far north, you get closer to the lake, and we kind of talked about how that may actually be a little bit warmer. So we're kind of thinking, Kokomo, Marion, Gas City, there towards Tipton and Peru, Lafayette, Frankfort, Delphi. We may have, some mid-30s. It might be a little bit tricky. So we'll watch that in the morning. We'll see temperatures slowly warm to 40. What we've noticed in situations like this is you can still get some decent snowbursts at 37 degrees, 38 degrees, because it's colder upstairs where most of the time the snowflake is falling. Once you get to 39, 40, it is tougher but not impossible. So I do think we'll have to squeeze in rain showers at times too, which would knock any kind of chance out of anything kind of sticking if you get a raindrop afterwards. After that, we may cool down a little bit more Thursday night into Friday morning. But then I think by Friday we should warm it up enough that we're not really talking about so much snow flurries. It should be mainly rain showers, and I think we'll get some drier air on Friday. So it's not going to rain all day. They'll kind of be hit or miss. But cooler air is on the way. We're going to have more updates as we get closer to the storm system. We've also got a lot of content on our website right now. If you go to the weather tab, you can go to the blog section. I've got some blogs in there. Lindsay's got some blogs. Angela and Sean were writing things last week, kind of giving some early previews. So we'll have more of those. We'll be updating those daily, and we'll have some new content for you as we get closer. This is not to scare you or to think, hey, we got a snowstorm on the way. This is just to give you a heads up. Hey, our first snowflakes of the season are coming in. It's a big deal, Here around central Indiana, we typically get 20 to 30 inches in central Indiana, depending on where you are. So the snow season is just about to start. Make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always, we'll keep you advised.